Hi, welcome back. Before we get started, I need to ask that all students contact me as soon as possible to let me know that you've enrolled in this course. Simply send an email to me at the address shown here and confirm that you are taking my class. This is a writing course, so let's get started by learning why writing skills are so important. I'm going to assume that most of you are enrolled in college because you want to someday have a better job, higher pay, and a more rewarding career. When the time comes to apply for that first job out of college, it will be your writing skills that matter most in making a good first impression. The fact is, most job openings will attract a large number of applicants who easily meet all the requirements for the job. An employer must then look for other qualities that make one candidate stand out from another. As you might guess, writing skills are often the deciding factor in who will get the job. Keep in mind that your ability to write will be immediately apparent in your cover letter and resume. Unfortunately, one small mistake in either of these documents can mean the difference between you landing a dream job or having your resume thrown in the trash. Laszlo Block, a former vice president and hiring manager at Google, recently wrote, "In a fiercely competitive labor market, hiring managers don't need to compromise on quality. All it takes is one small mistake, and a manager will reject an otherwise interesting candidate." For 15 years, I've continued to see the same mistakes made again and again by candidates, any one of which can eliminate them from consideration for the job. What's most depressing is that I can tell from the resumes that many of these are good, even great people. Writing skills will continue to be an important part of your work long after your first day on the job. Most work requires that you communicate with others in a variety of ways, like creating reports and memos, even office emails. Grammar mistakes here can be extremely embarrassing and sometimes tarnish your reputation within the company. The good news is that the most common writing mistakes that people make can easily be avoided. And that's exactly what we will focus on throughout this course. First, we'll review some of the most common grammar mistakes that people struggle with, like where to place commas, where to place apostrophes, and which words should be capitalized. We'll also look at commonly misused words, like there, and there, except versus accept, further versus farther, effect versus effect. We'll also learn about different types of writing. Most students are already familiar with informal writing, the kind of writing you might do when texting, sending an email, or posting a comment on a social media website. Journalistic writing is the type of writing you'll find in newspapers, magazines, and online articles. In this course, we'll focus primarily on what's called academic writing. This is the style of writing you will most likely be asked to use when completing papers for all your college courses. With academic writing, you will often be required to summarize an author's main point or argument, provide an analysis of the author's work, and conduct research to validate your assessment of an essay. This kind of work will help you learn to be a more critical thinker, a more critical reader, and a more critical writer. We'll talk more about this in the coming modules. For now, I simply want to get to know you a little better. That means for this week, you have one assignment to complete. Tell me a story about yourself. In college writing, telling a story means you are writing a narrative. This story can be anything you like. You might write a story about something that happened to you as a child, like learning to ride a bike or taking off on an adventure. You might write a story about enrolling in college. Or you could write a story about applying for a job. I'll let you choose the subject. My only requirement is that your story be at least 10 to 12 sentences. And because your story is a narrative, it should include a sequence of events. If you'd like to see an example of a well-written narrative paragraph, click the link below titled Sample Narrative Paragraph. So that's all for this week. If you have any questions about the assignments, please contact me at the following email address. Have a good week, and I'll see you again on Monday.